Yo, I'm very excited to see this. Callisto Protocol. This is made by the original creators of Dead Space.
Yeah, but this is a Back for Blood situation where the the game is a mess.
However, I'm mostly excited to just see. I know people don't. It's not one of those games where it's like a 1 out of 10.
No. In fact, I like this game more than most people do. I mean, original horror IPs are so rare. It's just,
correct.
I want to like this game more, and I still like it. But it's one of those things where it's like...
Especially AAA ones.
This game is baffling in a lot of ways.
Most original horror IPs are like $5 Steam games. You know what I mean? So seeing something that has a little bit of budget behind it is crazy.
So I'm not tryharding this. I'm just doing medium security. Anyone that's familiar with this game will probably understand what I'm talking about, where this game is easy, but it's also bullcrap. It's like a duality. Like, this game is easy, but also has so much bullcrap in it. Okay.
I'm excited. Wow, it just starts off. Let's go. Things are happening. But yeah, I feel like if this was... And this is a weird hypothetical, but if this wasn't made by the original Dead Space developers, I feel like maybe people would like it more. But when they hear it, like, Dead Space developer, like, it puts this, like, almost unattainable level on it.
Yeah,
you
and I would say the kind of two biggest problems with this game is that it's way less cool than Dead Space's lore, and the weapons are way less cool too.
Okay.
And when you come into a game that's made, when it's being advertised as by the maker of Dead Space, you want cool enemies and cool weapons. This game has neither.
Wow. Yeah, because all right, let's play a mini game. Well, I guess you just said it. If you said to me, what's the first thing you think about Dead Space? I would personally say the first thing that came to my head was the oh my god, I forget its name, but the gun, what do they call it?
The plasma cutter.
The plasma cutter. Literally the first thing that comes to mind. And what's the second thing that comes to mind? Necromorphs, right? For you, would it be Necromorphs first and then the plasma cutter?
I would say both of them together.
Okay.
Like the very untraditional weaponry that ends up being perfect.
Yeah.
Like, Dead Space is like the perfect like premise for a horror game, where you have a very untraditional like monster that is very threatening, and you have untraditional weapons that end up being the perfect counter them.
The way I look at it is the plasma cutter comes up first for me because there's never been a gun since then that is exactly that's as unique as that for me in a horror setting.
This is a movie, by the way. I have to turn up my soundbar to almost max.
To hear that.
Yeah, anything. One thing I'll say about this game, it is gorgeous. I would imagine that 90% of this budget went to the graphics. This might be one of the best looking games ever made.
It does. Yeah, because Necromorphs are very unique, but there's other games that have, like, similarly grotesque H.P. Lovecraft kind of thing, but there's no gun I can possibly think of that has a gun as unique in the same way as the plasma cutter. So the fact that you're just using, like, standard, like, assault rifles and stuff like that.
Well, this game is 50% melee.
Oh! Wow.
So it is very different from Dead Space. But this game is a lot of melee. It doesn't give you a lot of weapons. It doesn't give you a lot of ammo. I mean, the game takes place on the maximum security prison on a moon in surrounding Jupiter. So that's a pretty cool premise, and it makes sense that you don't get a whole lot of weapons.
Come on, Max, you gotta stack these right.
Also, I was planning to do this game immediately after Dead Space, but then I was like, it's gonna be very similar, and I'm gonna be complaining too much. And I'm so glad I waited, because this game got a DLC that is the most baffling thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you actually bought a DLC?
I will, but...
Oh.
It is definitely worth it because, man, dude, look at this.
It looks so good.
Look at this. And it's a room that you go down one time.
Just
look at the money burn.
I was gonna say the amount of details on just random parts is just amazing.
This is like stuff that, I mean, I can't run, but it's stuff that you go through one time and then they discard it forever.
Yeah, you can tell this game did not do well financially, because within, I want to say less than 6 months, it might even be less than that, it was literally brand new for like $30, which is just brutal.
The other way? Yeah, I'm guessing.
I mean, you already have...
You get your ass back up here.
Horror game franchises are already like pretty niche. You go for action horror, obviously the staple is Resident Evil, but apparently the budget for this game was like $170 million for like a startup horror IP, and it's like, what were they expecting? I don't know. They put so much money into something like this.
When even something huge like Spider-Man 2 does like $300 million in budget, which is also way too much. That's also way too much. But it's also Spider-Man. You expect way more people to purchase it than Callisto Protocol. It's Spider-Man.
And I feel bad because I want new original IPs. Like, I am so tired of endless cash grab sequels of franchises that have 10 million games too much. This industry is so, like, immune to, they're just so scared of risk. But then games come like that out like this, and it's like a huge budget, the game ends up being like a mixed bag. And it's like, man, I wish I could like it more. Because this is what I want, new horror IP.
What are you doing? No!
Rip.
And just like a movie, this is, all the sound effects are unbelievably way too loud, and everything else isn't.
I hate it so much. I honestly don't understand why. Like, movie theaters, I get it, because they have surround sound and all that stuff, but, like, why when they release something on streaming or Blu-ray, do they not have, like, a home version for the audio? You know what I mean? Like, it's more than a meme nowadays that dialogue is so soft and sound effects are so loud, you know? It's fact. It's not just me being like, oh, I'm a...
And, like, it works in a movie theater. You're in a room with acoustics custom tuned for it. It's like, it makes sense in a movie theater. But, like, when you're watching it at home, it's like, no one's gonna have that crap.
And I want to say a large percentage of people that watch movies don't have, like, a specific room set up with specific soundbar and all that stuff with no other noise going on. It's just not a thing. Maybe 10% of people have it set up that way, where there's, like, no distractions, no anything while you're watching a movie, you know?
We're not gonna make it. Yes, we are.
So games stop becoming movies.
At least in the sense of audio design. Doesn't make any sense with games.
Yeah. Speaking of games that are not at all like movies, it was on sale for the Steam Winter Sale. I downloaded Blasphemous, which is kind of like a Metroidvania-style 2D game, and it's very good. It's very difficult. I do not know if I will finish it due to the difficulty. It's kind of like a Metroidvania, but also Hollow Knight in terms of the difficulty. But it also has this really ridiculously gothic, medieval, religion lay bad kind of thing going on. And,
Blasphemous, yeah.
Blasphemous, yeah.
Very good.
I'm having trouble on it, I'm not gonna lie.
I also tried that game and didn't get very far, but I respect it a lot. Rip.
Oh, I didn't you listen. Hey, come on.
You're gonna be fine. I like the scenes where the character in the dying position's like, how does it look? And the guy's like,
Just a flesh
it's great. There was a show I was watching the other day where the guy's honest, he's like, it looks really bad. I think they save him somehow, but it's like, it looks very bad.
Continuing search.
Black Iron Security! You pilot?
Hi, RoboCop.
Him?
Captain Ferris?
Are you ready for Jacob's life to get horrible in 5 seconds?
Who has it worse, him or Isaac Clarke?
Isaac Clarke. I mean, his life is absolutely horrible, and he deals with like going insane because of the marker.
Right.
And like Dead Space 2, he nearly like just succumbs to the knowledge.
So how do they explain how these face things work? Is it like...
It gives them oxygen? I don't know.
But
I mean, obviously...
But they're not in space or anything like that.
They're on the moon Callisto that surrounds Jupiter, so it has... Callisto is an absolutely gigantic moon, so it has an atmosphere. But it's not gonna, like, you're gonna die if you breathe it. It's probably mostly, I don't know. I have no idea.
Wow. I didn't realize Starfield would be like this. It's just like I expected it to be. Going to one moon, seeing markers of nothing at all. It's great. I think the next haircut I'm gonna get is kind of like Jacob's.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I gotta get one soon, but I just keep forgetting to.
Way too late for this shit.
Actually, I think I'm gonna be like Captain Ferris, with a huge like scar all through my head.
Yeah, his hair, like the back of his head, also had like a bunch of like weird scarring.
That's me.
Address me as Captain Ferris.
What? No. I'm just a cargo pilot. I was attacked by the Outer Wing. By her. She crashed my ship and she killed my first
I
officer.
don't care. Warden's orders. Oh, speak of the devil.
Choice. Every choice in your life has led you here.
The only thing I know about this game story-wise is the Warden is great.
The only place where
The story in this game is very weird.
find the one thing that has always been missing.
The weirdest connection that this game has is that originally this was supposed to be a tie-in for PUBG. I'm not making this up.
Oh.
So PUBG's like lore is that it takes place in the future where like human killing for sport is like a normal thing, which that's like the lore around it. That's why there's people just dropped in the map and they kill each other. But like Callisto Protocol was supposed to be like PUBG universe way in the future. But then they like cut ties or like they repurposed the game. But you can clearly see when we get to the ending, it's like nothing makes sense. But we'll get to it.
So it's like that or like Battle Royale, the Japanese anime. Okay.
But the council will like
Hunger Games, whatever you want to say.
The council will talk about like creating the greatest warrior, and you're like, what are they talking about? And then you realize, oh, it's a PUBG tie-in game. This game has the weirdest roots in the world.
I thought it was just like a straight up horror game.
I mean, it is a horror game. Like, the game, it has no connection to PUBG anymore, but it was originally. Right. But you can't, when you have a game like this that they pumped $170 million into, you can't just, like, remove that perfectly. There's just no way. There's so much money lost.
This is exactly how it is nowadays with for-profit prisons. This is exactly what happens.
By the way, no anesthesia. No anything.
With a core device.
Doctor, he's not in the system. We don't know.
Just prep the device.
What the fuck? That device! No! No! You're a goddamn doctor!
Yes, I intend to faithfully execute my responsibilities. Try not to move, will only make things worse.
No! Fuck you!
Seems good.
Like, I get that this is like a maximum like security prison for like the worst criminals in the galaxy, but
Oh, that's how they get away with having no UI.
Yeah.
Got it. For those that might not be as experienced, UI is user interface for gameplay. So, like, on the corner of the screen, it'll say, you have 100 health out of 100. And Dead Space is pretty famous for not having any UI.
Or, like, everything being, like...
part of the scenery, I guess.
Yeah, what's the specific word for it? Diegetic or whatever?
I actually do not know, but I know what you're talking about.
It's like the concept of, like, if you hear, like, music in the world, and there's literally, like, a speaker being responsible for it, I don't think it's diegetic. It's some other word. I just can't think of it.
But yeah, it wouldn't be like you would just hear the music all-encompassing. It's more like...
Yeah, like if you shoot the speaker, like, it'll
then
stop
the
music.
Stops. Yeah, yeah. I'll just use the word immersion. I do love immersion like that.
Thank you, jump scare.
Attention. All security personnel, report to the main cell block. This is not a drill.
Well, this is a great way to start out your
one
first
thing
day.
I wish that this game was a little bit different with is... I wish there was, like, a little bit of, like, build-up before the prison goes to hell. But it just happens immediately.
How long is this game?
4 to 5 hours long.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said it would take... It'll probably take more than 4 sit-downs, but, you know, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't expect it to be, like, super, super long, but... Seems a little bit shorter, maybe, than Dead Space 1.
This game is ridiculously linear.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on? I don't know what the hell's going on. My ship crashed, I got thrown in here, and then I woke up to this.
Well, look. You're that pilot they just brought in, yeah?
Yeah.
Look, I've
You're
been here
right.
half my life. I know this place. I've got a plan to get out. If you help me out of this cell, I'll help you, yeah? But you can use this to get inside the control room across that bridge. You can open my cell from there. Don't lose your lives, by the way.
Jacob.
Don't lose it, Jacob. I just saved your life.
I see what you're talking about with the, melee. Immediately get a shiv.
I hope you like sittling and crawling through vents. So one thing about this game is that there was a PS4 version of this, and I think it really, because of course it's like one of those movie games that they don't want to show any loading screens.
Right.
So they hide all the loading screens with vents and sittling. But because the PS4's storage is so slow, you'll see it constantly because of the graphics.
By the way, that part, I think he's gonna do it here. This part where he just like pops something open and whatever. So we were playing our Simpsons pinball machine the other day, and Luna hit it so hard that the ball got super, super stuck. So much so that I couldn't even shake it. So I had to like open it up to pull the glass off the top to get the ball out of there. That's literally how I felt was what Jacob just did for that thing. Like I had to open it up and go through all this like stuff to pop it open. I felt like the master mechanic, you know? And then because I'm so adept at mechanical things, I found that there's a volume knob in there, and I adjusted the volume. Can you believe it?
Oh yeah, because it's so loud.
It was so loud. The crazy thing is, it was only at about 2/3 of the max volume. I showed Ferris, I was like, Ferris, come here. And I slowly turned it up to max volume. It was so loud you couldn't even hear yourself.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you got a literal trophy. Are you playing on a different
No.
account?
That's weird. It must be like dodge enemies' attacks like literally 1,000 times. Because I definitely played this game like 3 or 4 times now.
Okay. But yeah, it's so unbelievably loud, that pinball machine. I'm so glad that pinballs and arcades have ways to turn down the sound, because the one thing I hate about arcades, just honestly the one thing, is how loud they always are. Like, I get it. Like, you want to, like, draw people in, but they're just way too loud for me. even the darkness and like the smell. Obviously, they don't always have the greatest smell. Is not a big deal.
Console's not responding.
Right there, I just saw something. It attacked me and it didn't seem human.
What do you want about it?
I know what I saw.
Look, this place can mess with your head. This is our chance. Whatever it was you saw, it's all the more reason
Yeah,
to get out.
bro.
You see that watch
Is
now?
this your second main character? Is he gonna have a long and
That's
fruitful
our
life?
first stop. Meet me there.
He actually helps you a lot.
Elevator's that way. Take it up to the next
Honestly
one.
surprised. Usually in games like this, that dude would be dead in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's this game has a very small cast, so it's good that they don't immediately kill him. So in this game, you should never block anything, just dodge. You can dodge everything, and why would you ever block when you could just dodge and take 0 damage?
Does this game, you know how in Dead Space it'll show you your way? Does this have anything like that?
No, but this game is so
Super linear.
so much linear than Dead Space.
Jacob,
I'm just curious to see what all stuff they took from Dead Space, you know?
enable two-way comms with your core. You know, pick up a few tricks and you've been here as long as I have.
Also, this game has an inventory,
Just take it down
and it's like,
find the elevator on
can I
that
even
level.
open my inventory now? Yeah. So it kind of looks like I have 12 spots, but I actually only have 6 right now. So it's like you're playing Chris and RE1. But also, you can only carry like 12 bullets per slot.
Oh, God.
This game gives you like nothing for like a long time.
Crash outside the gatehouse. Site secured as per warden's orders. Access restricted to Mahler's team only.
Slowly crawling.
Believe it or not, this game at launch, the audio logs you couldn't play. They didn't automatically start playing. You would have to open up a menu and listen to them. So when that happened, when I was replaying this, I was like, "Whoa! They patched that?" Because I played this game pretty much at launch.
That's, I guess, one positive thing that you can take from patches when they actually do stuff that should have been in the dang game to begin with.
So enemy melee attacks, they can randomly do like 1 to 3 attacks, but once they lose an arm, they only do 1 attack. So it's a lot easier to counter them once they lose an arm.
I'm not, without knowing anything about this game, I'm 99% sure it's going to sequel bait super hard at the end.
Elias, something's wrong with the elevator. I'm heading down, not up.
Damn, that means you're headed to solitary. You can still reach
Sounds
the
fun.
watchtower. Just have to go the long way. Just be careful. They keep the real crazies down here.
Ah, yeah, Solitary. It looks like in the actual, like, rock walls of Callisto.
It probably was literally just... Oh! Oh, energy converters are just for money when you sell them in the shop. They don't do anything.
Strong boy strong.
Mask loading screens.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I'm pretty glad.
Delicious.
I'm pretty glad that there's not going to be any more, like, at least major PS4/PS5 co-releases.
Yeah,
I saw Persona 3 Reload is a PS4/PS5,
yeah,
but
if you looked up gameplay of that looks like even like cheaper than Persona 5.
okay, I kind of figured. I mean, it's a
It honestly
is it a remake or is it a reskin?
It's a remake.
Okay. But yeah, I'm glad that we're to the point, like, absolutely 100% FF7 Part 2 is only PS5, and even something like Resident Evil 4 didn't have a lot of it, but the fact that it was PS4 and PS5 definitely hurt from the PS5 game in some small ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And yet Xbox keeps coming out with all these games that are Series X and Xbox One.
The big problem is that
doubles.
the Series S is like way weaker than the X, but every game needs to be on both. So
Right.
like a lot of people like complain about Starfield having a lot of like artificial load screens, and I think it's literally because of the Series S.
You hurt?
Yeah, I mean, you can't make a game Series X only. Because that...
Microsoft literally does not allow you.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of developers, like, cry on Twitter, being like, I hate the Series S. But, like, yeah, they do not allow you to just do Series X only.
Well, I mean, could you imagine Microsoft being like, you have to make a game for our all-digital system so we get the maximum revenue?
Yeah, also, you never want to because apparently if the alleged reports are to be believed, the Series S is outselling the Series X like 3-1.
Yikes.
Found the elevator.
Series X, I think, finally is having a
This detour might actually work for us.
potentially permanent price drop. I've seen it listed at $350 and $400 like a lot over the last couple of months, so hopefully that's where it stays.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Move!
Inmate 1, no!
Lethal force has been authorized.
I am the law.
Yeah, I wonder if it.
my God.
I wonder if it is like a RoboCop or Judge Dredd thing. But I always found their voice to be kind of funny.
Black Iron security unit active.
Lies. They can't track us.
Prison systems are
Speaking of Judge Dredd, if anybody out there hasn't seen the movie just called Dredd from like 2012 or 2013, it is
Scanning for movement.
top 20 movie of all time for me. It's just incredible. I never saw any of the older Judge Dredd, like Sylvester Stallone or anything like that, but I'm telling you right now, Dredd from about 10 years ago is just amazing. So is RoboCop from 1984 and no other RoboCops. Just kind of like how Dredd and generally, from what I understand, no other Judge Dredds are good. Well, like, great. Like, they might be good.
Yeah.
But you gotta watch it. And then it did okay in theaters, and obviously they never even tried to do a sequel, which is awesome. In case you can't tell, I was being sarcastic.
No